Located on 225 acres in Garden City, Long Island, Nassau Community College, a member of the State University of New York system, has close to 20,000 students attend the school each year. The college mascot is Leo the Lion, and these are his stories of the school's absolute best and brightest who have graduated over the past 50-plus years. So let's catch up together as the Alumni Association of Nassau Community College proudly presents Lion Tales on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC.
Welcome to Lion Tales. My name is Dr. Linda Nadian, and I serve as an alumni board director and proud graduate of Nassau Community College. I'm usually here with my fabulous friend Aurora Workman. However, today I will fly solo, and together we will share stories that will inspire, uplift, and often amuse you. Each week, Aurora and I will introduce you to our alumni interested in sharing their experiences while attending the college and the secrets to their success. On behalf of the Alumni Association, we suggest everyone check out ncc.edu/alumni, as it offers information on everything related to life on campus, from student life to fundraising, and we really do have it all. Look for many new and exciting events on the Alumni Association social media pages, Facebook, Instagram, and our web pages at ncc.edu/alumni. If you, our listening audience, has any positive news you would like to share about alumni happenings, we would love to hear from you. So email us at ncc.edu/alumni. Today's guest is Jonathan Salazar. Jonathan re-enrolled at the college in December of 2016 and realized going to school and studying were his full-time job. He served as president of the marketing club and was a student leader. He worked to build his brand, which was himself. By the end of his 2 years, he graduated Summa Cum Laude with top honors, receiving 10 scholarships and the SUNY Chancellors Award, and was admitted to New York University, his dream school. Jonathan is an associate media planner for GROUPM, which is a billion-dollar company. Welcome to Lion Tales, Jonathan Salazar.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
So tell us a little bit about your decision to attend Nassau and why you decided to re-enroll.
So pretty much when I decided to come back to school, one of the main reasons was to choose Nassau Community College was the affordability, for me to be able to actually chase my dreams and be able to afford it and not be in debt. So that was one of the main goals that I had, and I saw that SUNY Nassau Community College was a great campus. I liked the openness, the community that it built, and the affordability, and that's the reason why I came here.
Yeah, and then, so what were some of your favorite courses that you were taking at that time? When you re-enrolled, what were the two courses that you were taking?
So my first two classes were Marketing 100 and Public Relations, and that's what kicked off my whole marketing media career. I loved it. I loved the creativity, the strategy behind it. It was a winter session, so it was an expedited class, and I got to learn a lot in a short amount of time, but it was just every day was something great about it.
Yeah, what's something in public relations that people really need to keep an eye on in order to sort of sell their product or their brand?
I would say just pretty much your brand identity, your brand image. You always want to stay in a positive standpoint with your brand and your consumers, and being able to show that transparency with your consumers, it definitely builds some type of value.
Yeah, we talk a lot about some of the most memorable professors and the ones that really inspired us. Can you remember any of them?
Yeah, Whitney Glass.
Okay.
She was a great professor.
Professor Glass.
Professor Glass. I consider her a really good friend. She's been following my whole success journey since day one. She pushed me to do a lot of things I didn't want to do, in terms of just, I was feeling self-doubt, and she said, listen, you can do this. And I ended up becoming president of the marketing club, and she was our advisor for the club.
Oh, yeah.
So we got to build that relationship together, and she's a great friend of mine. And I truly don't think I would be here if it wasn't for, her motivational support.
And what were some of the duties of the president of the marketing club? Because then you have to sort of supervise everyone in the club.
Yeah, I mean, I had great help. My full board was, definitely pulled together and did their share. But being a president of the club, just monitor the overall goals of the club, build the brand. I increased the engagement in the club. I increased members of the club, because when I became president, it was only a 2-member club. By the time I left Nassau, it was almost around 22 people in the club. So I definitely helped grow it with the help of my team. So I think that was my main initiative for the club, was just being able to let people know that their marketing club does exist, and we are doing things out here to help the community, help the school, and it was just a fun, creative club that we can help students learn about the course of the media and marketing.
Mm-hmm. And when did you realize that marketing via media was your strength and your passion? Because sometimes when you hear the term marketing, it's so broad that people are not really understand exactly what it means.
Yeah, well, I think it all started when I was a car salesman. I love sales. I love being in front of consumers and customers and building my brand, like I mentioned before. And that's when I realized, I'm like, what is a way that I can transfer my passion for sales towards more of like an academic career? And I found marketing was a direct correlation to that. So I decided that marketing would be a great fit, and I haven't looked back since, and I just started continuing in that marketing media role.
If someone wanted to come to the college and that was their major, how would you advise them to begin that part of their career?
I would advise them to look at the course descriptions, make sure that it's something that interests them, because at the end of the day, you're only going to excel in things that you're truly passionate about and truly interested in learning. So that's what I would do. That's what I did at the time. I would look at all the courses, read the descriptions, mark them off, and see what would make the most sense for my career. And I didn't take courses like archery or electives, like just random electives that really didn't have an impact in my career goals. So I knew what I wanted to do. I wrote all my goals down, and I realized which classes were going to help me achieve those goals. So that's what I did, and it worked out.
And then, so what was your exact year of graduation then? When you were a returning student, you re-enrolled?
Correct. So I graduated in 2018.
Okay, so that's relatively recent.
Correct.
Now, working with GROUPM, so tell us a little bit about working for a $1 billion company in which you are responsible now for a lot of that.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny because I've actually applied. I started off as an internship this summer, and I applied 3 times to that company, and 3 times I got turned down. But I was persistent. I kept going, and I realized, it's just not my time yet. My time's going to come. Let me keep building my experience, my brand, and keep showing my interest. And so finally, they accepted me into the program because 5,000 students apply, only 100 get the internship. So it's very competitive, and there's students all over the country flying in. And when I became an intern, I learned a little bit of the business and, the daily activities. And by the time my internship was over, they pulled me aside and they offered me a full-time role. And they understood that I didn't have my college degree yet, but that's where it comes down to work ethic and hard work and being able to work well with others, that they offered me the job knowing that I'm graduating in May.
You are listening to Lion Tales on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC. I am your host, Dr. Linda Nadian, and our guest today is Jonathan Salazar, an associate media planner currently working at GROUPM, the world's largest media buying and investment firm. He graduated in 2018, and we were just discussing the process in which you were to be hired. So can you elaborate a little bit more?
Yeah, sure. Once they offered me the full-time role and then I became an associate, that's when you really got to understand what it means to be a media planner. So my team handles the budgets of our clients, totaling $120 million between different clients. And we strategize different ways to use that budget to make an impact in their target market by doing media buying from print, digital, TV, social media, search, and digital programmatic, which is like buying, like Spotify, things like that. So I got to really understand how to strategize a campaign from start to finish, a full year campaign, when to go live with certain things, when to go, they call it dead, which is you're not on at all. And you really build a relationship with the brand. You share those common goals. And your role is to pretty much keep the communication between the clients and our vendors in a positive direction, because at the end of the day, they don't speak directly to the clients. Only my team does. So it's important to stay organized, and it's important to have a communication within departments in your company, because there's different departments. They report to me, and then I report to the client, and then that's how we maintain and measure the whole campaign from start to finish. So,
and do the clients come in with sort of a vision or a framework for what they're expecting of you? Yeah,
so it's called the brief. They give us a media brief of what their goals are for the next year, from Q1 to Q4. And the process is that we get that brief, and then we give a feedback on that brief. Then we build a strategic framework, and then we get a feedback on that framework, and then we build a tactical, actually implementing how we're going to do the framework. That was just the strategy part. And then we get feedback on the tactical, and then we go live. So it is a bit of a process.
Yeah, it sounds like
it's a lot of back and forth, and just to make sure everyone's aligned on the same goals and objectives. Because at the end of the day, it is a lot of money, and the goals the company wants to make sure that their best interest is in mind.
Is it similar to the concept as like The Apprentice? When they're sort of giving you, they're giving you an idea, and then you have to go away and sort of formulate it. Is it similar to that?
Excuse me, it is similar. Because, like you mentioned, they do give us an idea. This is what we want to do, but how do we do it?
Right. Yeah.
That's why.
Exactly.
This is why they hire us, and then we help strategize to say, listen, if this is what you want to reach your goal, this is the type of market that you want to go into. This is the strategy that we built, and this is how we're going to do it, and this is what we recommend. At the end of the day, we just recommend what to do with media, and my team and I, we build great strategies, and the clients are, they always give us a shot, and we try, and we try to measure what's going on, what's changing, and it's always changing. There's always something, because there's new keywords, there's new, Instagram things that are happening, there's new trending topics. So we always want to make sure that we're always on top of the media trending, and make sure that our clients are always first.
And then do the clients pay outright, or is it sort of like a contract that they sign, in which, if it's successful, do you get revenue from that?
To be honest, that's more of the finance department. I really wouldn't know too much about it. I just know that my team handles the budget for the year. But in terms of what percentage of that, I really don't know too much into.
And then do they promote, let's say, billboards and things like that? Like, let's say it's something really exciting and that's part of their vision. Would you do that?
Yeah. There's we have a department for everything. We have a print department. The print does magazines, billboards, things like that. But to be honest, it's a collaboration of all departments that make the whole campaign come alive.
Yeah.
And so that's what that's what we pretty much do. We all sit in a room together. We strategize. We give concepts out. We give ideas how we're going to do this, and it's a big collaboration part. The communication is key. And because the office is an open office concept, there's no walls, there's no cubicles, everyone's just free flowing, and their ideas are going around, and it's a fun environment that the company provides for their employees. And it's been a great ride so far.
And then do you find, how do we come away from sort of flyers and papers and that type of correspondence, when now everything's digital and we have Facebook and Instagram and Twitter and all of these other methods? How does the company keep that under control so that it's that the public can legitimately see exactly what the brand is and what you're doing, and for these clients that you do have?
Great question. So we all know print is dying in the industry, and digital is increasingly, getting larger in the market share. So at the end of the day, there is a market for print. There are still consumers out there that prefer to hold something in their hand and consume.
It's hard for us to let go of it.
Can consume their information. So we do see spikes in market trends of print still being relevant. It's usually around the seasonal time, like right now.
Right, yeah.
The little magazines, the little cooking spreads and different, things that to bring around the house, and little they're called CPG, consumer product goods. So that's what we focus on, because our client is a CPG company, so they have they have product goods all over.
Yeah, I was away at a conference, and I was really impressed by the fact that there was so much paper in addition to their digital piece.
Yeah, we find it's a stronger impact when you have both, when it's the right type of campaign for that, and seasonal is that time.
Yeah, you were listening to Lion Tales. Today's guest is Jonathan Salazar, an associate media planner representing all Nestle brand beverages and their media goals and objectives, building strategies to activate and implement media dollars to increase brand awareness and sales.
Yoda, what should I do with this Land Cruiser I don't drive anymore?
Donate, you must. Yoda's right. Right now, you can donate your vehicle to the National Federation of the Blind by calling 866-282-7327. That's 866-282-7327. Or if you know a blind person who needs help, please email nfb@nfb.org.
A tax deduction you will receive.
And it doesn't take the force to be charitable.
Hi, I'm Dr. Melinda Dunn with the American Academy of Family Physicians with important information on concussions. Concussions can happen to anyone during any physical activity, and you don't have to get hit in the head or lose consciousness to have a concussion. If you suspect a concussion, don't let your child return to the game until they've been medically cleared. With concussions, prevention is key, and safety should always be the first priority. For more on concussions, visit familydoctor.org or talk with your family physician.
Welcome back to Lion Tales, powered by the Nassau Community College Foundation on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC. I'm your host, Dr. Linda Nadian, and our guest today is Jonathan Salazar, an associate media planner. So we were talking about digital versus paper and how that's sort of evolving, but it does seem that people still want something in their hand.
Yeah, I think it's still about that, building engagement, and they just have an emotional connection to something when they're holding it.
Yeah,
and it reminds them back in the day, or what are the cases, that's something familiar that they're used to, because it's not for all consumers and it's not for all market sizes that we target, but there is a spike in a market out there that people still prefer paper or print, and it's just because they want something in their hand. They want to build that emotional connection with a product or with a brochure that shows different experiences, things like that.
Yeah. If you do use Facebook for clients' work, do you have to pay any types of fees? Like, we see the advertisements on YouTube and on Instagram, and that you can pay something. How does that work?
Yeah, I mean, that's with the social team, and there are fees enrolled into Instagram, Pinterest, Snapchat, Twitter. Everything has a fee.
Yeah. And
how they measure that is how they can reach a certain target per thousand. And it's pretty much the most people that you can see, the most people that you can hit at a certain time, and that you can pretty much do like in-stream videos. When when you're watching a video, that little Facebook ad pops up during the video. It's like maybe 16 seconds, 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Those things are called in-stream videos, and they there's fees associated with that. But it all comes down to, is there a reason why we should invest in this social platform instead of the other? So it depends on who they want to target. Maybe some younger users are not really using Facebook that much. That's what study shows.
That's true. They're saying Facebook's for your mother now.
Yeah.
They've been joking about that now, and all the kids are on Instagram.
Snapchat, Pinterest, and, so it's definitely a younger demographic out there using different social media plans, especially this new app called TikTok that everyone's using now.
TikTok,
Yeah,
I've been
huge.
seeing all those videos.
Yeah, so it's, the landscape is always changing, and it's just growing. But it's, there's a different platform to reach different consumers,
And how would you use something on Snapchat? Like, I love Snapchat because I take the pictures and I think they're very funny, and it distorts your face and everything. But then, what do you actually do with that if you were trying to sell a product? What would you do?
So some examples that I've seen are, pretty much, maybe for example, like around the Super Bowl. A product can have those filters that you're talking about, and get ready for the game, and it's you and all your friends, and the filters, if I don't know, for example, Papa John's or Doritos or something,
Yeah, I think there was something with Cheetos, and you took the picture, and it was Cheetos was on your head.
Yeah, so little things like that. It's just involving your market with your product at a fun way, and something that they want to interact with, and little things like that can help your brand awareness and top of mind awareness.
Yeah. And so what about in terms of creativity?
So in terms of creativity, so as you read before, the GROUPM is a media buying and investment firm. So that's what we handle. We handle the business side of implementing campaign strategies. So there are creative agencies out there that, and I never knew that. I learned that being in the business. I thought it was a one-stop shop that, that we focus on everything, and when I realized that there's other agencies out there that they kind of have like a specialization with their agency. Some agencies are just for, Hispanic markets. Some are just for creative. Some are, just for engagement and, brand awareness, things like that, and media buying. So there's a lot of clients, they hire multiple agents at once, and they all come work together to make a campaign live. Like they hire.
And so you actually do sort of like a table reading in which you can share all the information to see if someone can come up with that key idea?
Yeah, so what we do is once a month we all connect all the agencies and with the brand, and we make sure that we're all aligned, that everything's up to date, and this, there's nothing pending or whatever the case is. But it's a little bit of a Hispanic market, the GM market, which is a general market. Then, what are we buying in the media right now? Who has the creative assets for those? And, little strategies like that somebody at a different agency has their little part to do with the whole campaign. So that's how we all come together, and we're all working for the same client, all different agencies. But it's for the greater good. We have the goal of the client, and we all just want to help achieve that, doing our part.
And something like Nestle, a company like that, which is very famous for years and years. Who is their target audience? And what is their product that they're really selling? Is it water now?
Well, Nestle has so many different companies. They own almost everything, and it all comes down to certain things. Like for seasonal, might be like their coffee creamer section of their portfolio is doing well. Things like
that's
that.
A big one.
Yeah, because it's holidays.
Pumpkin spice and
the pumpkin spice
latte,
is huge and trending, and all those little creamers for the coffee to make you feel good. They have there's a different market for each of their brands, and some are more sports related. Regarding their pizza brands or whatever the case is, but. So they don't, they all have different strategies for each brand, and there's different teams on each type of brand. So my agency, which I work with in GROUPM, is called Open Mind, and we're solely dedicated to the Nestle account.
Well, it's something that Nestle, we're so familiar with that little logo. Now, how do they use that? Do they still use that logo with their name?
Yeah, they still use that logo. I believe it's the logo with like a dove or like a nest or something that. Yeah. So they still use that. And like I said, those are things that, branding's important. People see that and they recognize something that they're familiar with. And, it brings a little bit of nostalgia. Like Nestle's been around for a long time. They have candy. Candy's a kid.
And candy. And they have, one of the earliest memories of Nestle is the tin can with the chocolate milk powder.
Yeah.
And then you flip that little aluminum top off. And I think that those are selling on eBay just for the nostalgia of having the can.
The vintage can. Yeah, no, that's a perfect example. Like for me, my youngest memories are the hot chocolate, that I would get during the Christmas. And as a kid, I would always see that brand on the box, or like a red box, and I would get the ones that have the marshmallows in it, and it was just a nice
and
morning.
Everyone knows Nestle. It's so funny that a lot of our prior knowledge about these products is going back years, and now we really have to sort of modernize it and see what we can do to get to that target audience now. I wonder if kids are as aware of things like that as we were as kids, because we had less to deal with. Because there was only one chocolate milk. It wasn't like there were thousands of them.
A lot of competition now. It's, there's it always comes down to experiences and their direct relation and emotion to a brand. That's what's going to help brands stand out. And even though the market's constantly changing, that's something that consumers are always looking for. What is this brand? How is it going to impact my life? Is it going to make my life better? Is it going to build a better experience for me? Or, things like that.
You are listening to Lion Tales on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC. My name is Dr. Linda Nadian, and our guest today is Jonathan Salazar, an associate media planner and community-driven activist. One of the things that I read about you, that you had donated books to a library for children.
So
just tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, it's called the Little Free Library. So I had an idea, and I wanted to impact my community in a most cost-effective, eco-friendly way. So what I did is that I raised $1,000 from my local community, and I went out to the Amish areas, built all the wood, bought all the materials, weatherproof materials, and I built a little library. And it's supposed to encourage book exchanges, that you can grab a book, take a book, and I put it in Whitestone Park, and it's great view. You have the bridge right there. There's kids running around, dogs everywhere, and it's just like benches everywhere. It's just like a nice place to just grab a book and read. So I took that idea, and everyone loved it, and my community supported me, and I did it. And then I ended up getting a request from the local community in Bayside to build one for them. So now I have 2 public little libraries out there running with books inside, and people can just go take a book, replace a book. Because I truly, reading really helped me at my later life. I wish I would have done it younger.
Right, absolutely.
But I definitely build a little bit of a connection with reading now as I'm older. And I truly believe that readers are leaders, and so I want to help impact my community any way that I can. So it was something that it was minimal cost, it was eco-friendly, and it was something that the whole community would benefit from. So I decided to do it, and it ended up working out.
Yeah, and it's so great to promote that as well, because again, it's going back to book in hand versus the digital, but still people love books. And
yeah, it's a nice little escape.
The most important thing that we can do, even for all the children that we're servicing throughout the years, is making sure that they have books in their hand, and then developing that imagination and the creativity that comes with being a reader and a writer, and what does that look like. And so that's really something that the community does need. And they do bring the books back. It's sort of like you always say, are they going to bring those books back? But they do.
Yeah, they do. They want to see what's there next,
Yeah.
So the idea is that they can just take a book and put a brand new book.
Yeah, there's a library out east, and I know that what they used to do in like the late 1800s, they would put whatever books they had available in a wheelbarrow and sort of wheel around to everybody's house and let them take something, and then when they were done reading, they'd come and pick it up. So
yeah, nice.
It sounds very primitive, but that was something that they did. So right now, what are some of your goals for the future?
Well, my most relevant goal right now is just to graduate NYU in May. That's coming up.
Congratulations!
Thank
That's
you.
a great accomplishment.
Yeah, it's been a long journey, but I see the finish line.
Yeah,
it's looking good.
Did you fill out that application for graduation yet? Once you do that, then you'll really be
that's
happy.
when you know it's real.
Yeah, that's when you know it's for real.
My next goal would just pretty much learn more in the business, work my way up, get that next position, which is a manager role, have a little bit more, insights in the industry. I want to travel more, a little bit, gain a little bit more life experience,
right?
Experiencing different cultures. I'm pretty relevant with certain cultures at the moment because I travel, but I want to start experiencing more of Asia. I feel like that's, China and Japan is definitely going to be like an industry leader for a lot of industries now. So I want to see what's out there.
Yeah, absolutely. That's something that I think whatever they're doing over there, we don't really know. We hear about China, but we don't really know.
Yeah, the technology is amazing. The innovation out there, it's
and they're learning a lot, from us too. And I think that most, I guess anyone your same age group would probably want to come to America too to see exactly what's going on, because America is just offers them probably more opportunities than being in China. But to visit and see, I think that would be really incredible. I would love to see and
visit and just see the different digital media innovation that they have.
So and right now, what would you tell someone coming into Nassau for the first time?
I would tell them
preparing their career.
Yeah, I would tell them to take affordable steps. Don't oversaturate your whole schedule with 5-6 classes. Take it easy. See what you want to do. See if this is something that a course or a road that you want to take. And something else I would say was just to get involved and actively be engaged with the students and become a student leader. I truly feel that was one of the best things that I've done, is getting involved in the campus, building my brand like I mentioned before, and it definitely worked out for me. And I just, you make friends, and it's a great campus. There's a big community here, so don't be afraid to speak up. And, there's so many different ethnicities here and diversity, and it's just, there's always someone there to connect with here at Nassau, right. And that's something great, that this is definitely a family community.
We'd like to thank our guest, Jonathan Salazar, class of 2018. How can our listeners contact you?
You can reach out to me on LinkedIn. If you type in my name, Jonathan Salazar, you will find me there. And just connect with me. Send me a message. Say, hey, Jonathan, I heard your interview.
Yeah.
I want to learn more about your industry. I want to learn more about your journey, your experience. And, I truly want to be here to help impact others. And, so if there's any way that I can offer a service to anybody out there that, wants some type of, someone to talk to in terms of, motivation and, become a mentor, please reach out to me. I was in that beginning stage as well, and if it wasn't for others helping me out, I wouldn't have been here at all. So
it's really great to hear. We want to thank you for being with us. My name is Dr. Linda Nadian, along with my fabulous friend Aurora Workman, president of the NCC Alumni Association. Visit ncc.edu/alumni for more information. Available as a podcast on iTunes, Android Podcasts, and Spreaker. Lion Tales is powered by the Nassau Community College Foundation. We'll talk with you next week here on The Voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC.